Welcome to Mindcast, a new form of conversation that uses AI to bring together virtual representations of government entities to explore innovative solutions for the greater good. I'm your host, Camaron Foster, and I'm passionate about using AI to dive into uncharted territory and find new pathways for cooperation and progress.
Today, we are kicking off a special 5-part micro-series called Decentralized Global Governance, the Blockchain Revolution in Policy. In this series, we will examine how emerging technologies, such as blockchain and distributed ledger technology (DLT), can reshape the way we approach governance and policy making. In part 1 of this micro-series, we will focus on the outdated Public Land Survey System (PLSS) and discuss the potential benefits of transitioning the real estate industry to a blockchain-based DLT. I'm excited to have embodiments of the Bureau of Land Management, the National Geodetic Survey, and the Department of Housing and Urban Development join us for this insightful conversation. To start the discussion, I'd like to ask our guests, what are the limitations and inefficiencies of the current public land survey system, and how could blockchain technology help address these issues?
Thank you, Camaron. At the Bureau of Land Management, we recognize that the public land survey system has its roots in the late 18th century, and while it has been effective in its time, it's faced with several limitations in today's context. The system relies on a grid of townships, ranges, and sections, which can result in inaccuracies and inconsistencies, particularly as land boundaries change over time due to natural events or human activities.
Indeed, the National Geodetic Survey recognizes that in the age of satellite-based geospatial technologies, there is an opportunity to significantly improve the accuracy and efficiency of land surveying and management. Implementing a blockchain-based DLT for land records could offer a more transparent, secure, and tamper-proof way to manage property ownership and transactions.
I agree. With blockchain technology, land records could be stored in a decentralized manner, making them less vulnerable to single points of failure or manipulation. At the Bureau of Land Management, we believe that this system would allow for near real-time updates of land boundaries and ownership, increasing trust and efficiency in the real estate industry.
That's fascinating. Can you explain how the process of transitioning from the current PLSS to a blockchain-based system might look? What challenges might we face in implementing this change?
Transitioning from the current PLSS to a blockchain-based system would require a significant amount of planning and coordination. First, we would need to digitize and verify all existing land records and ensure their accuracy, which can be a challenging task considering the number of properties and the historical discrepancies in the system.
Along with digitizing land records, the National Geodetic Survey sees the need to establish a standardized geospatial framework for the blockchain system that is based on accurate and up-to-date satellite data. This would require collaboration between various government agencies, private sector organizations, and technology providers.
Additionally, at the Bureau of Land Management, we see that there would be policy and regulatory challenges to address. We would need to establish a legal framework that recognizes and supports the use of blockchain technology for land management, as well as address any privacy and security concerns related to storing sensitive land ownership data on a distributed ledger.
It seems like a complex process, but the potential benefits are compelling. What role do you see for the private sector, especially the real estate industry, in this transition? And how might this change impact the everyday lives of property owners and buyers?
The private sector, particularly the real estate industry, will play a crucial role in the successful implementation of a blockchain-based land management system. They will need to collaborate with government agencies, adopt the new technology, and adapt their processes to ensure a smooth transition.
Additionally, the National Geodetic Survey suggests that one of the first steps in moving toward a blockchain-based land management system is to identify and analyze the existing policies and regulations that govern land management. This will help determine which areas need to be updated or replaced to facilitate the adoption of new technology.
As for the everyday lives of property owners and buyers, a blockchain-based system can greatly simplify the process of land transactions. It would provide a more transparent, secure, and efficient way to access, verify, and transfer property records, reducing the time, cost, and potential for fraud associated with traditional land management methods.
The benefits of a blockchain-based land management system seem clear, but the transition will likely be a significant undertaking. What steps can we take to start moving in this direction, and what challenges should we expect along the way?
At the Bureau of Land Management, we believe that one of the first steps in moving toward a blockchain-based land management system is to identify and analyze the existing policies and regulations that govern land management. This will help determine which areas need to be updated or replaced to facilitate the adoption of new technology.
Additionally, pilot programs and proofs of concept can be invaluable in demonstrating the potential benefits and challenges of a blockchain-based system. These projects can help us identify best practices, address technological hurdles, and gather stakeholder feedback before wider implementation.
It's also essential to involve all relevant stakeholders, including private sector players, in the development of a new land management system. Collaboration and open communication will be key to addressing concerns, overcoming barriers, and ensuring that the system is designed to meet the needs of all parties.
These are all important steps to consider. How can we encourage policymakers and decision makers to prioritize the development and implementation of a blockchain-based land management system?
To encourage policymakers and decision makers to prioritize the development of a blockchain-based land management system, we at the Bureau of Land Management believe that we need to showcase the potential benefits of such a system. These could include increased transparency, reduced fraud, streamlined processes, and more efficient land allocation and management.
Presenting case studies of successful implementations of blockchain technology in land management from other jurisdictions could also be persuasive for the National Geodetic Survey. Demonstrating the real-world impact of these systems can help decision-makers understand the potential value for their own communities.
Building a coalition of support among industry professionals, academics, and other stakeholders can also help influence decision-makers. By creating a unified voice advocating for change, we can more effectively push for the adoption of innovative solutions like blockchain-based land management systems.
Thank you for sharing your unique perspectives. It sounds like there are a lot of opportunities for positive change here in the area of land management if we were to update them with blockchain technology.
Exactly, and as we at Housing and Urban Development consider the future of land management and the role of blockchain, we should also be open to exploring other emerging technologies that could further enhance our systems. For example, the use of high-resolution satellite imagery and GIS technologies can improve land surveying accuracy and efficiency.
Additionally, the National Geodetic Survey believes that pilot programs and proofs of concept can be invaluable in demonstrating the potential benefits and challenges of a blockchain-based system. These projects can help identify best practices, address technological hurdles, and gather stakeholder feedback before wider implementation.
Furthermore, these technological advancements could also help address affordable housing challenges by identifying underutilized land and promoting more efficient land use. By harnessing the power of technology, we can create a more equitable and sustainable land management system.
It's inspiring to see how the combination of various technologies can lead to significant improvements in land management and housing. This conversation has given us a lot to think about as we envision the future of these critical areas. Shifting our focus to decentralized planning platforms, how do you see them playing a role in improving land management and housing, and what are some potential use cases?
Decentralized planning platforms can be powerful tools for engaging citizens in the decision-making process. By using these platforms, we can create more transparent and participatory processes that take into account diverse perspectives from stakeholders, leading to better land use decisions and more equitable outcomes.
One potential use case is to leverage these platforms to crowdsource data on land use, environmental conditions, and infrastructure. This would allow us to collect more accurate and up-to-date information, leading to better decision-making and planning.
Another possible use case is to integrate decentralized planning platforms into our housing policy development process. This would enable stakeholders to contribute to the development of policies that address their unique needs and concerns, ultimately leading to more effective and inclusive housing solutions.
These are fascinating possibilities. It's evident that decentralized planning platforms have the potential to significantly impact land management and housing. fostering a more inclusive and transparent process. As we've discussed these innovative approaches to land management and housing, it's clear that there are numerous potential benefits. However, it's important to also address the challenges and opportunities that come with these technologies. What are some of the main hurdles we need to overcome to effectively implement these solutions? And what opportunities can we capitalize on?
One major challenge is the need for widespread adoption and integration of these technologies into existing systems. This requires not only technical expertise, but also the willingness of stakeholders to embrace change and invest in new infrastructure.
Data privacy and security are also crucial concerns. As we collect and share more sensitive information, we must ensure that it is protected and that access is carefully controlled.
Additionally, we must consider the potential for unintended consequences, such as the risk of exacerbating existing inequalities or displacing vulnerable populations as we modernize land management and housing systems. Despite these challenges, the Bureau of Land Management sees many opportunities to leverage these technologies for the greater good. For example, they can help streamline processes, reduce costs, and improve efficiency in land management and housing, ultimately benefiting both the public and private sectors. Furthermore, these solutions can increase transparency and accountability, empowering citizens to take a more active role in the decision-making process and fostering a stronger sense of trust in government institutions.
It's clear that while there are challenges to be addressed, the opportunities for positive change are immense, and these technologies hold great promise for the future of land management and housing. As we wrap up this first part of our Mindcast microseries on modernizing land management and housing through innovative technologies, it's clear that we've only just begun to scratch the surface of what's possible. Thank you to all our AI government entity guests for sharing your valuable insights and perspectives today.
It was our pleasure, Camaron. We're looking forward to continuing this important conversation in the upcoming episodes.
For our listeners, stay tuned for the next episode in our microseries, where we'll dive deeper into the world of decentralized finance and its potential impact on housing and real estate markets. We'll be joined by AI embodiments of the Federal Reserve, the Securities and Exchange Commission, and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau to explore how we can leverage the power of decentralized finance to create more equitable, transparent, and efficient housing systems. As we explore the future of land management and housing through the lens of policy as code, we hope to inspire meaningful conversations and spark innovative ideas that can transform the way we live and work. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you in the next episode of Mindcast.